Hello there, my friends. I'm trying something a bit different today because I was watching a new YouTube channel that was suggested to me. And it's actually an older lady who's an artist and writer. And who knows who or what is watching us and suggesting things to us. But the video that she'd recorded was of her silently engaged in one of her artworks. She was actually painting it on camera. There I am, as you see, just to prove it is me recording this video through the woods in my village. And she had a voiceover to the video, and I really liked that. And I thought that I would give it a go myself, because if you think about life in a very simple way, really all it is giving things a go, experimenting, being willing to try various things, new things, different angles, and keeping things as interesting as possible. And what I actually want to show you about my world is how wherever I am, what I always want to do is make sure that I'm doing things that are intrinsically of that place. And I want to guide you through what I am actually doing. Because in the last 5 or 6 years, the whole world has been turned upside down and inside out for all of us. But it's my finger again, as you can see. I'm giving little comedic nods throughout this video. But that was actually me switching hands, because I'm wandering along whilst I was recording this earlier today. I was just wandering along holding my phone, and I realised that if I held the phone for too long, that my arm would start to ache. And I'm the kind of person that when somebody's doing something, I just thought I would pause here to show you how eerily beautiful the woods are at this time of year. And these are all of the famous Derbyshire dry stone walls. But I'm the kind of person that thinks, oh my gosh, somebody's holding that phone up and they're recording this whole video. I hope that their arm isn't aching. So you can rest assured in this footage that I was switching hands with the phone, which will explain at certain points why the angle, when I'm holding it in my non-dominant left hand, that the angle of the video will be slightly different. And then it will go back to being normal again, because I'll be holding it with my right hand. We all have our idiosyncrasies, we all have our quirks, and we all have our own ways of doing things. And it's really important to remember that whenever anybody is, there we go. That was a little hello, I'm here. And if memory serves, I think I actually might do it again. But whenever anybody is telling you that you should be doing something or not doing something, or you should be doing things in a particular way, they're not actually giving you advice. They're just, oh, look at that handsome face, smiling, doing a little pan around, very, very happy to be back in these woods where I grew up. That people are actually just telling you, this is how I do things, and you should agree with me. That's what people are saying. In every single person's mind is the wish and the desire that everybody would behave as they do, because wouldn't life be so much simpler if everybody just agreed with me? And that is the tyrannical streak within us all, which is why it's really important to get out into nature and really breathe in all of this natural beauty that we have in our countries, in England, in America, places in the Middle East. There's beauty everywhere, but obviously we know that there are conflagrations and traumas and conflicts all going on in these places. Excuse me, clearing my throat. You see how authentic this is. And when I was thinking that, I'm going to record the voiceover for this, I wonder how it will go. And the truth is, we don't ever know how things are exactly going to turn out. And things can often turn out very differently than we expected. But the truth is that you can find conflict if you want to. You can find peace if you want to. I actually knew somebody from my school days who was a soldier in Helmand province, which I don't know which war was that. Is that Afghanistan? I think that's Afghanistan. But he said, the thing is, Martin, I know that people say it's really, really terrifying. You can see a squirrel up ahead. I don't know if you can see it in the path. And it's just about to climb up the tree. There it goes. He said it was one of the best times of his life. I am a pacifist. I am not pro-war. I want peace. I genuinely do. But we have to take responsibility for how our lives turn out. And as I was recording all of this, I thought, let's stop. Let's just stop and take in the wonderful path. How many trees are there in this shot? How many stones make up that wall? Who built and who maintains, that lovely fencing there? Who laid all of that barbed wire? Look at this beautiful little bit of colour of the russet leaves. Look at all of the tree roots and the pebbles and the brush and the detritus that's slowly going to be coming to life again very soon. We can see how green it is. And people say that they hate the rain, but then they'll say they love the green hills of Derbyshire or of Yorkshire or of the Lake District. And so one cannot occur, one cannot exist without the other. And it's really important to be cognizant and remind yourself that there is much beauty in the world. And there's peacefulness if you choose to live your life peacefully. The outside world is always going to be occurring. And there's another squirrel wending its way over the path, enjoying the abundance. And their lives are simpler. Human life is not it's not a simple thing a lot of the time. But I see a world, whenever I take these walks, that is full of opportunity. I see a world where we can each individually be making an enormous difference. And I know the thing that's held me back from being where I potentially could be right now is an absolutely insatiable streak of perfectionism. Trying to control things to the nth degree. And I love looking at what would have been that lone wall that would have been a building at some point, and here I am, giving you another little smile, another little view as we continue along the path. And that's what we're doing all the time. We're walking our paths, and often it can feel like we're not making progress. I myself feel tremendous amounts of guilt because I'm so habituated to making sure that absolutely every other person in my life, in the immediate vicinity, in my mind, people that I've known, I'm always thinking, oh gosh, I hope that they're okay. I recently had a neighbour take a nasty fall, but I only discovered this a couple of days ago, and so she's in more advanced years, and she's a good friend. You know, she's a lovely next door neighbour. But for the time that I've not heard anything, I've not known what's going on, because I saw an ambulance about a week ago, and I did figure out that it must have taken her off to hospital. But a relative of hers who visits fairly regularly came to the block that we share, the neighbour and I, and I asked her if everything was okay, and she said, oh yes, no, she's taken a fall, but she's absolutely fine. She's just a bit shaken up at the moment. I thought, you know, thank God, because I was actually thinking, you know, the worst, because she is older. And, you know, we don't know where there's always... It always feels, you know, that there's something that, you know, we've got to deal with, something irritating or something traumatic or heavy, you know, that's weighing us down, that our shoulders feel laden with responsibilities and uncertainty. But as I said at the beginning of this video, when I saw this lovely lady, the artist, doing her YouTube video and doing a different style of composition, I thought, oh, that's nice. Let's inject a bit of variety into the proceedings. Let's give this a go. Let's see how this turns out. Let's be a scientist. Let's conduct an experiment. Let's be creative and spontaneous and just see how it goes, if for no other reason than to scratch the itch, get an idea, execute, get feedback, and either continue with it, try different things, abandon it. You know, letting go, letting the process do its thing, seeing what happens, and reveling, not being afraid of, but reveling in the mystery of it all. And we're coming to the end of the video now. I thank you for watching to the end. All of this stuff does help the videos, but you're going to see my face again as I sign off for this video. Remember to live your life peacefully. Remember to value yourself, to like yourself. So thank you very much from me. See you on the next video.